Glad to have you back on the morning flight on Love Word Expressions, where we entertain you beyond borders. We did say we'll be talking strictly politics now. And two states actually in the eye of the storm in Nigeria as we speak. One of them is Anambra State, where an election will be taking place in the next few months. And for the three dominant political parties in the state, ABGA, PDP, and APC, there have been shuffling of candidates here and there, and particularly with the fact that the courts have played, the courts really have been a strong factor in determining the candidates of this political party or that political party. And of course, Osun State, there seems to be some crisis between the godfather and the godson. The godfather, former governor of the state, Prt1, who used to be a commissioner in Lagos State. And of course, the godson, the current governor of the state, His Excellency Oyetola, all seems not to be well with the two. Well, Prt1's camp is saying that they have been taken out of governance in the state. Oyetola is insisting that he's in the saddle. All of this we'll be discussing with our guests who should be joining us shortly, virtually though. But, ladies and gentlemen, Anambra State, a state that fortunately will probably be fielding, or hopefully, depending on what the courts say. Let me use that word, yes. Hopefully. Yes. Depending on what the courts say, because at the last count, INEC said Umeoji will be for ABGA, not Soludo, even though the governor is insisting that Soludo is the person capable to succeed him. Yeah. For PDP, no candidate at all. No candidate at all. And for APC, it's between Andy Uba and another gentleman. So all seems not to be. In fact, at a point in time, INEC actually complained that all of these court rulings are undermining the capabilities and the power of the electoral body.
You know, when it comes to all of this different power tussle and different dramas that we see, it's worrisome one way to think about it, because you're having the people, they've been a Congress. For these people to have come out, there was a Congress. They held primaries.
Well, there were factions.
That's what I was saying. So if you have factions...
we had, Soludo came from a faction.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Umeoji, another faction. Mm-hmm. Soludo from the faction, I think that is recognized by the government in power. Umeoji from another faction that is not recognized by the government in power, both from the same political party.
Both from the same political party. Now, you never find out that when you, what is playing out is that you have a sitting governor, because the governor is there as a sitting governor. He feels the pulse of the people. He feels that he is the voice of the people. He's the spokesperson of the people. And you also have the federal presence. Mm. So the other people are aligned as well. So that's why for them to even come to say that is that holding parallel congresses, that I'm the one that is befitting, I'm the one that is befitting, you find out who's backing this person up. That is why you see that in virtually almost all the states in the country in Nigeria, you have different persons. The governor is feeling that he has a say, and the person, because the governor before he was put there, had to go through some kind of godfatherism and some things. He had to enter there. So you now have split decisions and things. And the INEC wants to have the election so that the people can have,
their own say.
The court's injunctions are going to be stopping it, because it's not like you cannot hold this thing because this is the court.
Do the people,
and this is not the first
do
time
the people always have their say? Perhaps sometimes, perhaps most times, but if you take a look at the election in Imo State, even though the governor still frowns when he's referred to as a Supreme Court governor. That's Hope Uzodimma, who used to be a senator. Yeah. When he's referred to as a Supreme Court governor, he still frowns at that appellation. But yet, if you take a look at the scenario in Imo State, did the people have their say?
I want to link the Imo State issue and find out also what happened when we talk about the case in River State at the time. There was a particular time where you had Obeah come as he was the one that was the person in PDP. But by the time he was in power, there was some court issues, and all of a sudden that it was not Obeah, it was going to be rather than him. That's where this excellent Rotimi Amici had to enter into play.
Chibuike Rotimi Amici, Right Honorable.
The Right Honorable. What happened there? Court injunctions. You have these things go through. You have in almost every state, there always be this thing, this connecting thing. So what we're saying is, the people have the say if the due process is done. But the idea is, for the due process to even go through, there has to be a party participation.
Yes.
We don't have independent candidacy in Nigeria.
That's it.
If you come out that you want to be an independent candidate, you don't have the structure. It takes a whole lot of things. So you have to go through the party structure. The party structure now makes you know that there is a state structure of power, the power tussle, and there's a federal presence. Some persons come, that's why we always say, even in River State, you hear that the governor says, I'm the governor of the state. And His Excellency, the Right Honorable Rotimi Amici is coming and saying he's coming with federal presence. And there's going to be a tussle. That's what we're seeing. So that's what, and in the part that you see that the app guy is saying that this is this one, and there are also another this thing. We don't need to have these things because why? The people are split between who do we rightly have.
Sorry.
Wow. Yes, I mean, it goes further to say what is going on right now. The whole trouble between parties. Now, it's not even party against party. It's internal issues that they're having. Now, those internal issues have to be solved among these people before we can rightly come out to say, this is not the first time we're seeing courts, interfering in things like this so that we can have, a proper or a better person in place. There's hope. People have actually said that, or speculations have said that Soludo might be a better candidate because, of course, this is somebody that has handled the Nigerian account, as being the ex-governor of the CBN. But then, does he have what it takes? Being a technocrat, does he have what it takes to run an economy of a state? This is not just a fraction saying, okay, maybe the CBN. This is a whole state. So these are issues that are actually going on right now in the different parties. So we need to really, a house that divided itself cannot stand. That's just the truth. So the different parties need to look inwards and say, look, let's consolidate, let's come together and pick one person that can stand for us. And it's very important because this is also we're going to talk to the expert. I feel it's also an infringement against on the right of the people. The people have the right to vote. Even if the court is interfering, the people still have the right to choose who they want as their
well, the people will vote.
Yes.
Okay. The people will vote. The idea is not, what's happening is a process. Before the people vote, the parties have to fill the candidates. So that's why we're saying the people are not looking and waiting, okay, let us see. Remember that the party structure is the fragments of different units, different words.
Yeah.
So every word represents the community. So you're bringing it down to this minutest detail. So every word that's brought up, you always bring up your participant, the people that will go and represent you at the party congress. So it is the people that are represented there at the party congresses that will now vote and say, this is the person that we're bringing out. Yeah. So we've had, that means these people that are pointing people, that means they are a reflection of the people in each party. So that is the structure. So if PDP is saying that we're going to run the Congress, we're going to be having this so we can choose the candidate that will represent us for Senate, it is the different words. So what the candidates do, the candidates go to have this chitty-chatty with the people and okay, with the person different, how many person from your ward, okay, from where, from ward of, okay, see, this thing, pledge allegiance, and they have some rubbing of minds. All those are the things that happen on the ground. So before you come to, okay, on the day of the Congress, everybody stay this way, we are voting, if you want this person, you want this. So that is the process. But we are saying that rather than have these things, can you come together as a party and be one of, let's just get this thing done. Because like you said, Anambra is unique. And I'm particular because there always has been this recurrent thing.
Yeah,
There's this interference, godfatherism hand is coming. There is this federal presence or some. So all of these different interplay and interface. Can we have it that take these things out? Let the thing rule, like we saw play out in the case of the Edo State government, Edo State election.
So what will be the impact now on INEC now?
The impact on INEC is that INEC is like, how am I going to say? You are like the class master. The class master will call the names that are on his...
Or the umpire.
Or the umpire. You are there, so you cannot do anything at all. So all you do is let the due process, when they're done, can I have the name? Can I have the name of the people that are going to be representing you? That's the thing. And when you've done that, we will now, on our own part, will now bring the machinery for people to vote and do the process. But the idea where I receive Papa Ajawo today as a name, and tomorrow I'm receiving Bantefa as another name. Like, oh, so that's where the confusion is. So INEC now, that's what they're always pleasing. Okay, please, can we stop all these court injunctions? Please, let this thing, don't forget, these guys that are going to the court, they have found loopholes that will support them. The fact, if myself and Segun Adebawale are representing APC, and Segun has done some things, I will go to the court and say that Segun's emergence as the person that going to come up for the thing is faulty, because when we did this thing, these are the things, because people have found loopholes to it. That's why the court is going to be having different matters. When the person comes with a court injunction, it means that there's strong backing.
Yes.
Don't forget, these guys are paying money to be at court, to have court sittings and have all these things. So politicians don't throw money somewhere that doesn't work. I'm telling you the truth. There's got some returns on investment. If you know the worthy battle, they don't fight it. They do not fight it. So it is strategic. So persons out there looking at it, just smiling. Go and disrupt it, like they will say in Yoruba, go and daliru. So these are the things. So INEC is like looking at, can we have the proper things? Because this is necessary. They cannot interfere. Because right now, it is the names that the party brings forward that will present to the people.
Yes.
So it is just their own place. That's what they call the Independent Electoral Commission. Independent. That's where it is. So at that point, you can't even, how do you get to fight? So that's why I'm saying that these court injunctions, please, can we have this? Can you settle this matter? It is during elections and election seasons that the courts and the lawyers are smiling most.
Okay, apart from those ones that are smiling, who else is smiling in Anambra State?
Who else is smiling?
In Anambra State. Do you think the candidates are smiling as we speak?
Yeah, I mean, for the governor, for you to have the backing of a governor, of an incumbent governor.
That's Soludo.
Yes, Soludo. It's
perhaps the only person.
All speculations will say this is the person that might. It's not in today's politics. You rarely find where an incumbent sitting president or a governor will say, see, I'm handing this person over to take. It's always either a battle between one party or the other to bring out a candidate. But for you to see an incumbent governor to say, see, I'm handing over the baton to this person, I feel he has what it takes to run the government of this state. You would now say that Soludo has upper hand in that regard. So he should be the one smiling now.
Well, we see it usually, at least in Lagos, it's happened, and also in some other states also.
The Lagos, I cannot forget the Lagos drama. I cannot forget it. Yeah. Because prior to the time, the president, the governor at the time, that is Governor Ambode at that time, had even bought the primary. He bought you knew that he wasn't going to be there. He was
advised not to have bought the ticket, though.
I wish he listened to. I wish he listened to Vito. Do you know
the beating was
the time I knew that it had finished at the time was when I saw that the party chairman at the time was there to raise the present governor, the sitting governor now, that is Jide Abistanwolu, and Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and raised his hand and said, this is the man. But we just saw on the news that Governor Ambode had gone to go and pick the ticket. And he had bought the ticket, and they smiled and gave him a chair. And they told me, I just collected your money, and don't worry, Bring your money.
Some two people are smiling as we speak. Aregbesola, the former governor of Osun State, who introduced Okpoimo and a lot of things in Osun State, and his godson, the current governor of Osun State, Oyetola. Okay, I understand that. Barrister Bolanle Olugbani, political commentator, has joined us. Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you on our program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay, then.
Good morning, sir.
We'll quickly start this one. As a legal practitioner, I'm sure you must have been following the turn of events in Anambra State. And at the last count, 2-3 high courts have produced different candidates for a party, for instance, like ABGA, then, of course, for APC. So let me ask you, as a legal practitioner, how worrisome is this? Then how concerned are you about the role that the judiciary is playing in that state?